Hey, short video today. Working on a water heater for the camper. We've figured out that our hot water heater wasn't working for a while, and through a contact I found out that apparently the switch, don't know if you can see here, there's a switch, on-off switch that provides 120 volts to the water heater here. That's water heater. This is a dual fuel, electric and propane. And so it looks like that fuse has gone bad, and there's a contact piece behind here that has gone bad. This is a reset for a temperature switch, and it also controls the thermostat for the heater. So last week I cleaned out the tank. And that's done by releasing the pressure valve up here. Flip that up, and that releases the overall pressure, which I'm going to do right now. Actually, I think I'm not going to do that. I won't need to for what I'm doing. I don't want any additional water in the area. And then through this plug here, looks like it was about 1.25 inches if I remember correctly. You can pull that out. These water heaters have anodes, and over time the anodes will disintegrate and the parts off of it collect in the bottom, and that ruins the efficiency of your heater. So last weekend I replaced the anode and figured out, okay, the anode's not the problem for not heating. So I contacted a guy, and he told me that we've got to replace these two parts in here and here. So I'm going to pause this for a minute while I take the covers off. Thanks. Alright, part two. I got that little cover off, and before I get started with this, I'm going to take this little voltage tester. Back when I was working with a large aerospace company, the plant techs, maintenance guys used to call this a wiggy. Where it got that name, I ain't got the slightest idea. But you push the button on, and you hold it up something that's supposed to have voltage or not voltage. If this lights up red, that green light changes to red, you got voltage present. I've pulled this switch out a little bit to change that switch. That one's going to be the hard one, but it does not have voltage. I also confirmed that before I started this video. So to make this change, I got to pull this out, disconnect those two cables that are in here. Hopefully you can see it with the light here, or lack thereof. Two connectors, I'll replace those. I'll have to undo that bolt that's in the center here, and these two wires, and then I'll replace it. So it should be fairly straightforward. So I'm going to go ahead and get started doing that. I don't do time lapse on this thing, so I'm just going to pause this and get back to you in a little bit. Ozark Geek out. Alright, so in the process of pulling this off and updating it, I took a look at this switch that went bad, and this piece right here, this closer tab, is charred, and the little rubber boot here was brittle and broke on me. So I threw a piece of electrical tape around that to kind of insulate it, and I'm about ready to put the new switch on there and feed it all back. The wires that connect this switch feed up behind here and connect to these here, and if you can look, that one is a little discolored as well. That one should be okay unless it breaks off, brittle and breaks when I go to change it, but it should be fairly easy to change. All I have to do is unplug these two and take that nut off, put the new one in, tighten it back up, and it should be good to go here in a second. Alright, I'll be back in a bit. Okay, back again. So we've got the old switch taken off, and I don't know what this is called, some sort of a TStat element thing that is taken off. And if you can see in this light, it might be too overlit, that piece here is pretty well charred and started to burn. So I've got it back together, as long as I quit dropping parts for it. As you see, I've got it back on. Here's the new switch there is in place. And I'm going to take this cover and put it back on. These are reset push buttons that you can use. They set in tight here, and this faceplate is rubber. So I will be going ahead and putting that back on and tightening it down, and we'll power everything back up, make sure it's got electricity, and then turn it on inside and see if it gets warm after a while. So that should do it. I'll just keep this paused, and if I got any updates for it, I'll put it back on here and notify you in a bit. Ozark Geek out temporarily. There's an old expression that goes, you don't know what you don't know until you don't know that you don't know it.
Yeah.
And hopefully this doesn't show upside down. But I got everything back hooked up. Turning all the power back on. And we're going to come over here and turn the power on for the heater. If everything's working right, in about 30 minutes I'll have hot water from here. So what we've done is replaced a electrical switch and some sort of a thermostat indicator on it, and got that all buttoned up. Safety's sake, we turned all the power off first. We still have 12-volt batteries, so the batteries are still working. And so now we're going to wait and see if the water heats up. So if everything goes well, I'll post this on YouTube. We'll talk to you later. Ozark Geek out. Okay, I'm back. We're going to test the hot water. We've still got the heater element on. Now this switch is electric heat, and we have another one in the cabinet that is propane. That is nice and hot water. I'll be happy to take a shower in that. So that looks like we have success. And with that, Ozark Geek out. Y'all have a great day.